We will wait about a couple of minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Some people are joining in person.
Recording in progress.
Yeah. Yes, I met her. Yeah. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
The artist is here. Yeah.
I'm gonna sit. Is it alright if I sit on the couch?
Yes, yes.
My knees are.
Yeah. Take this with you then.
Wonky.
Please give this to her.
Thank you.
And this for you. Yeah. First, we are going to meditate,
Yes.
so that we all can calm down and. Please sit comfortably, free from physical discomfort, and if you like, you may close your eyes and listen to the sound of the gong 3 times. The sound disappears. With that, you are transcending your worries from this week, this day, gathering your thoughts and arriving in the present moment. We will do some karma cleansing meditation. Maybe we can close the door. People downstairs are distributing Halloween candy, so we let them do that. So the first step we do today is to scan this body to remove any discomfort, adjust the body, taking necessary steps, especially seated in an upright position. Your upper back, mid back, and lower back are relaxed. Your shoulders are at ease. any sensations surrounding your eyes are beginning to relax since you are not looking outwardly, but with your mind's eye you can view the body seated comfortably, preparing and not rushing for this meditation. Yes, take a deep breath in, bring your shoulders all the way up, and drop your shoulders as you breathe out. Welcome any sound, any sensation. They are the now. They are informing of us where our attention goes to. It is important to make peace with what is happening now before we make room for inner peace. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out, which means bring the presence of mind as much as possible to your breathing. When you are breathing, notice deep breaths and shallow breaths. I will pause my talking so that you figure out your breathing pattern and stay with it. And notice how your brain stops sending signals to investigate seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, physical sensations, and thinking when you are not actively seeking them. That way, you take a healing break from the neural activity of your brain. They are shutting off naturally and automatically, giving you a sense of calm, unplugged, free from distractions state of being, a resting state of being. And you start taking delight in that equanimous state of mind where you feel safe and there's no need to always look for a sensation. And you choose to stick with that which brings you peace, such as what you are hearing now. Welcoming peaceful sensations, relaxing with each breath you take. Not letting any anger, frustration, disappointment enter your mind. All the painful memories, people, they come and go. Thoughts come and go. They are your present experience. But you are not feeding them. Like the wind, they take different shapes, change, and disappear. Calming the bodily sensations, you breathe in and breathe out. However subtle your breath becomes, you just become aware of it. Tranquility, calmness, peacefulness arise, and you recognize it. Now in our karma cleansing, please begin to accept all actions you have done this life intentionally. Take responsibility for them without blaming you. How those conditions led you to behave in certain ways. Mentally, verbally, physically. Accepting it is the first step of taking responsibility and healing. Forgive those others who never understood your point of view. Forgiving is not about them, it's about us. It's also very important for us to heal. Be open to where you are headed next. With that openness, you welcome new possibilities, better ways of thinking and behaving, cleansing your intentions and making sure you are not rooted in greed, hatred, and delusion. Instead, choosing letting go, compassion, and loving kindness. Anything that is not beneficial to you, whether it is a behavior, a choice you've made, you can let go of them. Allow yourself, give permission to let go for your own well being, mental and physical. Sticking with your precepts, not killing, not stealing, not engaging in sexual misconduct, not telling lies, abstaining from intoxicants that deludes your mind. For this moment, you accept those as your guiding principles, things that you can always choose to do, purifying your bodily, mental, and verbal actions. Now, with a light-heartedness, you come back to find your breath again. Fresh air enters your body, and you are aware, relaxing with every step. Allow the rhythm of your breath be revealed to your awareness. Just as other things get revealed and come and go, but you are choosing more relaxation side. With a pleasant attitude in your mind, I am able to face anything in life. Instead of blaming others, choose gratitude, and your life will be changed forever. Say thank you for their behavior, their actions, their judgment. And radiate compassion out there to the world wherever it is needed. With the wisdom that everyone suffers in their own ways, and may they heal, and that wound has nothing to do with me. Some people are cat people. You have to allow them to come to you when they are ready to open up. They will, or they will never open up, and that is okay. Some people are coffee people. They get excited to talk about things with coffee. You allow them to be. You do not expect a different reality from what they are. There's no gap between reality and expectations. You accept things as is, as they become, as they arise. See the conditional arising and you let go. There's no person doing any of these. Things come to your mind they go away, but you are not those things. If you think of a person, you are not that person. It's just a thought. And relax again. Stay with your breath for the remainder of your meditation, adjusting your body if you have to. Okay, so today we will talk about karma. Um, For those who are participating online, I will share the screen. So you get to see what I am reading. And still you will need me, because the first thing that you will see is in Pali. So there's a story of how I first learned this phrase. So I was in grade 9 in school, and we had Buddhism teacher. His name is Vasanta. He's this very kind person. So we studied Buddhism as a subject, and the day before he told us, go to the temple and ask the monk, what is the famous phrase on karma in Buddhism? And we forgot. The next morning, we went to the school, and somebody reminded us of, oh, look, the teacher told us to find out, we must go. The temple was about half a kilometer, so we took a bicycle and went to the school. I was not ordained at the time, so the monk was sweeping the ground. He was a university monk. He's not a monk anymore. And we asked him, what is the famous quote on karma? And he said this. He gave this phrase. So, and we never forget it. And I'm thankful to that teacher for guiding us to discover. And I think it's one of the most important things to learn about karma. This is in the Nibbedika Sutta. The Buddha says, Chetanahang bhikkhave kammang vadami, chetayitva kammang karoti, kayena vachaya manasa. Suresh, can you make sense?
No.
Okay. Monks, intention is karma. So, Chetana ahang bhikkhave. I say, monks, intention is karma. Okay. Having thought about it, one engages in actions bodily, verbally, and mentally. So what you do mentally is also karma. And how you understand this is that if you are thinking angry thoughts about a person, that is, you are manifesting angry energy, and you are manifesting angry behavior and angry speech. So this is very hard to purify it. And you can understand how much mindfulness is needed to restructure that behavior. Because what you do privately about a person is equally important as what you do publicly about a person. Publicly, you can be nice to that person, but privately, you can hate that person. And it becomes your responsibility. Because you need to also put this into the context of the time of the Buddha, when the Buddha lived. Um, people talked about karma as only the bodily actions. That is the only thing that tells what karma is. The Buddha said, no, verbally someone can engage in bad karma. Mentally someone can engage in bad karma. And you must be responsible of it. If you destroy somebody's life, you have to take responsibility of it. Just by thinking and sending that email that destroys that person's life. You didn't speak, you just kind of electronically communicated, and that you had the bad intention there. You need to take responsibility. So let's all read. The concept of karma, central to Buddhist philosophy, can be understood as the principle of cause and effect, where actions, whether through body, speech, or mind, create corresponding outcomes. Unlike a system of divine judgment, karma in Buddhism emphasizes personal responsibility and the interdependence of intentions, actions, and their results. This understanding reveals that our thoughts and deeds shape our experiences, particularly through mental and emotional conditioning, which is obvious. Emotionally we can be very toxic in our mindset, and that is what we bring to a workplace. And like, you can sound the gong angrily. You can sound it in a very gentle way. Depends on your mindset that day. So understanding karma also has a link with it's a law of causality, cause and effect. Karma, often misunderstood, is fundamentally the natural law of cause and effect. In the Buddhist view, actions, especially those backed by intentions, plant seeds that will ripen at a later time. This is what we fear. That when we are not able to do anything about what somebody else did, we say karma will take care of you. Yeah, beware of karma, like beware of dogs. And you cannot do anything about it. You cannot correct the person, but you can say you know what you are doing. It's like a little curse, really. Like what your universe is watching, and you will have to face consequences. But we never go to someone who is saddened by an incident and say, that is your karma, you have to accept it. That's a rude thing to say. This is a wrong way to use the word language karma, like mother grieving a loss of their child. Don't say, this is your karma. It's not a nice thing to say. Yeah. Yeah. It's a very rude thing to say. We don't even talk about impermanence that at the time. You just connect with their grief and you do kind things to make them, feel that they were understood and held dearly in our space. Because that will be bad karma too, that not knowing what to say or saying the wrong thing in front of them. You will damage the friendship you have with this person. Okay. As the Buddha taught in Chula Kamma Vibhanga Sutta, which is about the smaller discourse on classification of karma, how verbal actions, physical actions, mental actions decide the consequences, the birth of different individuals in different places. Karma manifests not only in future consequences, but also in the character we develop and the mind states that we frequently experience, mental states. This process is not immediate, rather it unfolds over time as conditions evolve. In this way, karma influences not only future events, but the quality of our present awareness. To illustrate, consider karma as akin to gardening. The seeds we plant, whether of kindness or hostility, grow into the experiences that arise. Excuse me. Harmful actions such as harsh words or selfish behaviors may create conditions that lead to suffering or difficult interpersonal relationships. Conversely, actions rooted in generosity, patience, or compassion yield conditions of harmony and peace. This is where things get very difficult for us. We lose our patience. Some people, nothing tests their patience like the modern technology. And then they start cursing like this computer, this software, this thing, this. Much like tending to a garden, karma requires ongoing mindfulness and care in nurturing beneficial mental states while removing the weeds of unwholesome thoughts. Story 1: The Archer and His Target. One illustrative story recounts the life of a skilled archer who prided himself on his mastery of his art. Declaring that he could overcome any obstacle, he became increasingly competitive, viewing everyone, even friends and family, as potential rivals. This sense of superiority, which began as a harmless pride, gradually isolated him from others, cultivating an environment of mistrust. Over time, the archer came to recognize that his self-centered thoughts had shaped his perception of the world and thus his relationships. The adverse effects of his mindset were not inflicted by external punishment but by his own karma, the natural result of actions rooted in conceit and distrust. This story underscores the Buddhist view that karma is less about external retribution and more about how habitual thoughts and intentions transform our inner world. In this case, the archer's ambition led to a mindset that eroded his own well-being, illustrating the way karma shapes not only outcomes but also the quality of one's mind and relationships. Story 2. The monk and the seed of patience. Another story involves a monk who, while traveling through a forest with his student, encountered a villager who insulted him and questioned his beliefs. While the student became angry, the monk remained composed. Later, when questioned by the student, the monk explained that he practiced patience regularly, nurturing it like a tree with deep roots. As a result, the insults affected him only superficially, like wind brushing over leaves. Years later, the student reflected on this lesson and found that his own practice of patience had similarly equipped him to meet challenges with calm and resilience. This story highlights how practicing wholesome actions such as patience or kindness fosters internal stability and reduces suffering. It is an example of positive karma, where the monk's training allowed him to remain unaffected by anger and retain his composure by cultivating mental qualities that align with well-being. The monk exemplified the karmic principle that mental discipline transforms future responses and mitigates potential suffering, further suffering, because, yeah. There's read two more passages. Karma in daily life, the practical path. The principle of karma encourages an intentional approach to actions, especially in daily life, practicing awareness of one's thoughts and responses as seen in the 6 R's practice. Recognize, release, relax, re-smile, return to your good intention and repeat that process every time you feel you are manifesting unwholesome karma. Akusala karma. Kusala is my name, so remember, um, not thinking of me is akusala. Empowers practitioners to mindfully redirect negative impulses, thus reinforcing wholesome mental qualities. This practice underscores the Buddhist emphasis on personal responsibility and the malleability of one's character. Karma, therefore, is not a form of predestination, but a flexible guiding principle that allows individuals to cultivate well-being through skillful thoughts, words, and deeds. So you can change your karma anytime. That is one thing. And then you are having a good relationship with yourself. That is the other thing that is beneficial to you. To know that you know who you are. You know your intentions. You know you are a very strong person. And even if you die that moment, your heart is really at a very pure state with this universe. That there is no refusal of in your mind in that state of what your mind produces. That you've done inner cleaning for a long time, that you are prepared. Not in an angry way, that you are not dying with the curse in your mind, thinking that I'm going to come after you. That is really negative karma. You've let go. So in conclusion, the Buddhist understanding of karma offers insight into the interconnected nature of actions, intentions, and experiences. Rather than an external judgment, karma is the natural outflow of actions that shape one's present and future. Through mindfulness and intentional practice, individuals can cultivate positive conditions, fostering a harmonious inner and outer life. Ultimately, the teachings on karma serve as a reminder of the power inherent in each choice, encouraging a path of skillful action aligned with compassion and wisdom. So what you don't change, you choose. That's that's the conclusion. Right? What you don't change, you choose. Any questions? Any thoughts? Anything new that changed your way of thinking about karma? Yes, Nicole, you can unmute.
I had a question. Do we inherit karmas from our family lines?
No. But let me pause and think. I think, what do you mean by inheriting karma? Like our genetics?
Well, if there were bad things done within the immediate family, we're just like looking at like the history that we inherit when we're born into a family and a history, like the personal family history, and then the family within like wider history and politics and things. Are we bound up in all of that?
Not really, and somewhat it has an impact on you. If you are the son of Donald Trump, I think you are kind of bound to get public attention and sometimes fame, sometimes criticism. If you are the son of the Buddha, I think you are getting a different vibe. If you are a son of a criminal, I think we get we get to face the consequences of having to visit prisons and deal with the issues within the family. And I think it has an impact on our overall behavior, because what we have inherited is what the genes have been subjected to over the uh, generations of forming. And I think it can have an impact on your overall temper and actions. And yet again, sometimes you see there's always, possibility for us to change. And Angulimala is the example. He was misguided by his teacher and his friends. He was the best student, and other students were jealous of him. So they plotted a plan to ill-treat this famous student, favorite student of the teacher, by spreading a rumor that this student is having an affair with the wife of the teacher. And because this is the favorite student of the teacher began suspecting every time his wife was chatting with this student. So suspicion grew over the time. And to punish this person, the teacher said, you are ready to graduate, but I need, because you are my most sincere and best student, I have a special request, and you cannot tell anyone about this. This is for a ritual I have been longing to perform. You must collect 1,000 human fingers, and you must take one finger from each person. So the plan of the teacher was to get this guy killed. And it's a very gruesome plan. And so this one day, as he began, like he was first confused, but out of respect, he wanted to do this. He was skilled in archery, so he kept killing people and collecting fingers, but they were like getting rotten away. This is a very serial killer story. So he had to make a garland over his neck, and he was running fast to get the number. He was 999. By then, he was about to kill the last person, and that was going to be his mother, that he could not even recognize her at the time. He had gone mad in his killing spree. And the reason the mother was approaching him or to the forest where he was supposed to be living was that she heard that the king was after him to kill this person. And the mother went before the king went. And the Buddha heard this, and the Buddha knew what had happened. And the Buddha went before the mother and stopped this person. And it didn't matter for this person to the finger garland person. He was known as Angulimala because he was the finger garland person. And he tried to kill this recluse, and he was running after the Buddha. And the Buddha, with psychic abilities, created a distance that no matter how fast this guy ran after him, he could not catch. And the finger garland told the Buddha, stop, I'm trying to catch up to you. And the Buddha said, don't you see, I have stopped. I'm a monk. I have stopped a long time ago. When will you stop? When will you stop this action? And this, clicked his wisdom, and that he stopped. He dropped his bow and weapons, and he thought, oh, this person has come to save me. I must listen to him. And he went to the monastery, was ordained, and was seated on the side. No one has seen this guy because he was reputed as a killer and nobody wanted to live in the area. They avoided the forest. So the king, on his way, stopped at the monastery. Monastery was near the forest. And the king wanted to show respect to the Buddha. And, the Buddha asked, why are all these people? Why all this army of, people? The king said, we are going to capture the finger garland. And the Buddha said, if he's a monk, will you show respect to him? And the king said, of course, I will give him, it's impossible he will be a monk, but if he's, a monk, I will show respect. And then the Buddha showed the guy, and the king started shivering out of fear because that much was the ill reputation he had. But over the time, he blended with the societies, except that he had to suffer the punishments given by the society. When he went on alms round to receive food, people refused to give food. He came back hungry. But he became enlightened with the practice. So you can change your karma. And so one day there was this lady trying to deliver the baby, and his heart was stricken with compassion. He went to the Buddha. He said, I don't want food today. I saw this woman. I want to help. I don't know how. And the Buddha said, go back to her and say, after I became a monk, I've never intentionally killed or done any harm to any being. By the power of that truth, may you and your baby be safe. She had an easy birth from, at that moment. And this became a famous chanting. So when we monks visit hospitals in pregnancy wards, we chant just this. Or pregnant mothers come to the temple for blessings on occasions when they are about to deliver. So they believe in the power of his words now. That was the Buddha's way to show that when you are clean in your mind, there's enormous power, an enormous karma that one can generate. So you can change your karma anytime. And it doesn't matter what karma you inherit from your family, you can change it. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. We have about 8 minutes more. Do we have any more things to discuss? Yes, Maggie.
I'm thinking about how physical actions to change your internal state,
Yeah.
and the idea of how that fits into karma. I mean, I've been reading about how this Zen approach to house cleaning, and as you clean,
Yeah.
you're not simply cleaning your counters or your floor, you're cleaning your soul.
Yeah.
And so I love that.
Yeah.
And is that enough to actually be, wiping and cleaning and to change internally? I feel that it does. I feel that.
I think people in Buddhist world, when they sweep the temple grounds, where they have in temples, they have a huge Bodhi tree, and in the fall, these leaves fall in the ground, and birds also eat these seeds, and so it falls on the ground. It's messy, so people want to volunteer to clean this. There's like competition to clean this because they know that it's not about cleaning the temple, it's about inner cleansing, and that their bad karma is cleansed with this activity, and that heavenly beings who are loving this activity will be looking after them. So monks also do believe in that if I may not be enlightened this life, but I can do these other activities that help others to have a clean place, and that is generating positive karma. And to be able to make your mind to just engage in an action that is beneficial to oneself and others for about an hour or 30 minutes, I think it's you are at a place where you are ready for wisdom. Yeah.
It's where I work.
Yeah.
It's a difficult situation in a negative environment.
Yeah.
But part of what I do there is clean. And the way the task is given to me is not out of respect, but it's out of somebody, we don't want to do it, so you do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I take that and I try to use that thinking that way of getting this environment clean and
Mm-hmm.
polished as beneficial to me.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes we don't know the results of our actions or choices of those people who say this is your job, or choices were our thoughts sometimes to say that you have neglected your job of cleaning, and I don't want to clean. But the mindset, when you are really happy, joyful person, you don't care about those things. You just clean, and you are happy to clean it thousands more times.
Yeah.
And your mindset has always nurtured that healing energy, and that is all yours. They cannot take it away from you. And you stop complaining, and complaining has never resolved anything in the world ever. So you just accept it as a truth and part of wisdom that lives with you. And it doesn't matter who is watching, whether you get recognition of it or not. You just, like in an airplane, when the bathroom is messy, you can just make one choice. Let me help these flight attendants, and I will be the one cleaning today. And I'm okay with that. You carefully clean it, and you clean yourself, and you are just back in your seat. Nobody has to give you credits for it, but you are that person. It gives you a sense of satisfaction about you. Like, in work, we do little extra, and that extra is what gives us, satisfaction. There's a carpenter story that I like to share. This carpenter was ready to retire. So he told his boss that, I have done, work here for 40 years. It's time for me to retire. and he was the best carpenter. And his boss didn't want him to retire, but it has, he'd say, I want to, retire to mountains. And the carpenter was assigned another job before he could retire. Can you please just do one more job? And this time the carpenter rushed to finish this. He chose not so good material, but he finished it like just any other project. It looked fantastic, but the material wasn't good. And then he reported to the boss that the job is done. Can I retire now? And the boss gave the keys of that house to him. This is my retirement. This is my gift to you. You are going to inherit this house. So until the last moment, I think you are not free from your actions. I think you are going to, you have to keep it until that last moment. And that is what you take with you. So, yeah. Shall we share merits? Enough for today, right? Please join your palms together and join with me with this wish. May suffering ones be suffering free and the fear struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power share this merit of ours. May they long protect you, protect your families, and protect the teachings. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, thank you for coming. Good night, everyone.